as Maldives' nearest neighbor and closest friend. That's how Prime Minister Modi signalled a cautious thaw between the two sides after a period of strained relations when President Moisu visited India last year. Now, Prime Minister Modi is visiting Maldives for the celebrations of its 60th Independence Day. Let's dive into the significance of this visit and the strategic implications. I have with me the former Foreign Minister of Maldives, Abdulla Shahid. Many thanks for speaking with NDTV, Abdulla Shahid. My first question is that even though President Moisu had visited India last year, would you say the actual reset in ties will happen with Prime Minister Modi's visit to Maldives?
Thank you very much. The Maldivian people and I are delighted that the Prime Minister is going to be visiting us and also gracing the Independence Day celebrations as the guest of honor. It is most unfortunate that in the past we have had a diplomatic lull, spat, where the current administration coming into office used a narrative against India with ill will, and the damage that has been done to the relationship between our two countries. It was most unfortunate. It is good to see that the chapter is going to be closed and we could start again. The manner in which the Indian leadership dealt with the situation is commendable. It was with maturity and diplomatic talent that the Indian leadership dealt with the situation. There were no knee-jerk reactions by India when junior ministers came out and attacked the Indian leadership and the Indian government on unfounded allegations. I'm relieved and happy that the current administration has decided to close that chapter, publicly say that the current administration is sorry, and invite the Prime Minister to be the guest of honor. It is beyond symbolism. This visit is beyond symbolism because we would be having the Prime Minister of India as the guest of honor when we celebrate 60 years of independence.
How would you interpret the current administration's move to improve ties with India?
It is only natural. As I said earlier, the unfortunate thing is that it took the government 2 years to realize that. They should have realized it much earlier. They should have refrained from using India as a punching bag for political convenience. And I urge our political parties and leadership to refrain from doing so in the future, because the people-to-people contact between our two countries transcends these minor political glitches that come up. So we should never, ever go back to that part of our history. We should be building our relationship on the trust, confidence, and mutual respect that has always been part of our strong foundation of relationship.
Now, given China's increasing maritime footprints in the Indian Ocean, including the visit of a research vessel at the Maldivian port, how do you see Maldives balancing its defense partnership then with India?
Well, when we were in government, we have always had as a priority the stability, the prosperity, and development of the Indian Ocean. Because prosperity, peace, and stability in the Indian Ocean is essential for the peace, prosperity, and stability in the Maldives. So it is critical that we work with our immediate neighbors to make sure that the Indian Ocean remains so. Bringing in foreign conflicts into the Indian Ocean should not be welcomed.
Beyond maritime security, defense partnership, and security in the Indian Ocean, how do you see the ties between India and Maldives expanding to other areas?
For the last 60 years, we have had an outstanding relationship based on several facets of partnership. And one which is very less celebrated aspect of our relationship is the contribution that India has been making over the last 6 decades for human resource development in the Maldives. When you look at any area of walk of life in the Maldives, you see Indian trained doctors, nurses, military personnel, police personnel, auditors, you name it, teachers. During the last 5 years in our government, we had over 2,000-3,000 Maldivian civil servants who have been to India and got them training opportunities. So capacity building and human resource development is not celebrated enough area of cooperation between our two countries. Since 1992, we have had an outstanding defense cooperation, which also includes annual joint exercises, those the exercises between our two countries. And it had continued from early 90s until today. Irrespective of who is in government in Maldives, irrespective of who is in government in Delhi, this continues, the relationship and joint exercises are there. Again, another aspect is in the area of intelligence sharing. It's outstanding cooperation is there. And that is how we are able to make sure that unwarranted elements, non-state actors are kept at bay, including terrorists, mercenaries, money launderers, drug traffickers. All these can be kept at bay is only through such outstanding cooperation. When it comes to Maldivian security and Indian Ocean, we are benefiting from the radar systems that have been donated by India to the Maldives. We have these radars installed in different locations, assisting us in maintaining our territorial waters, the security and stability of the Indian Ocean region.
Tourism from India had dipped during the period of strain in the relations between India and Maldives. Do you see Prime Minister Modi's visit to the Maldives now sending out a positive signal? And will that, do you believe, help improve the inflow of Indian tourists back into Maldives?
I'm sure that this visit will be a positive step towards re-establishing and revitalizing the tourism relationship between our two countries. During last 5 years of our government, we had initiated the flagship development program in the north, which is the Hanimadu International Airport, which I believe is going to be inaugurated during Prime Minister's visit this time, makes North Maldivian atolls connect to the South Indian major cities within a span of 1 hour. And that is going to be a huge connectivity opportunity which could facilitate Indian tourists to visit us. We also recall with much gratitude the bubble travel arrangement which was put in place with the generosity of Indian government during COVID-19 pandemic, which provided the resurgence of our tourism industry after the border closure due to COVID-19 pandemic. There was, you would recall, a time when jokingly people would say that, in fact, Maldives had more Bollywood stars visiting us than you had stars in India, which gave a huge boost to Indian tourist arrivals in the Maldives. So I'm sure that Prime Minister's visit this time would give this additional boost. And my request to Indian travelers is look, come visit us. You're most welcome.
With the replacement of Indian military personnel with the civilian experts in Maldives, how do you see or interpret the future of the India-Maldives defense partnership and relationship?
Well, I don't see much change in policy or ground reality with the change of government in the Maldives. One of the key events during Prime Minister's visit this time would be to inaugurate the defense building, which is a generous assistance by India, the project which was started during our time in office. The UTF, Uturu Chilafal Coast Guard Harbour project is ongoing. The two helicopters which are here, the two platforms are here. The Donia airplane remains here. No substantial changes have been made to any of the defense-related agreements which have been the foundation of defense cooperation between Maldives and India, not only during the last 5 years, but for the last 30, 40 years. The agreements have remained the same, unchanged, and it is not going to be changed by this government or future governments, I hope, because there is no ill will on the side of India towards the Maldives when it comes to defense and security cooperation.
Abdulla Shahid, many thanks for speaking with NDTV.
Thank you, Maha. It's a great pleasure.